So today we're going to walk through Mentimeter. This is a really nice interactive software that I use when I'm doing academic half days or smaller lectures. It's very easy to use. We'll walk through it and get a lot of comments afterwards asking me, what software did you use? It's Mentimeter. There's a really good free version that allows you to have up to 50 participants a month. I'm not being paid for this. This is just me trying to help out folks that are looking for an alternative to PowerPoint or Google Slides that allows for a bit more interactivity. So you can see here that I'm logged in right now, but this is the main page that would ask you to log in to your free account if you like. The paid versions have a bit more interactivity options, but certainly not necessary. You can see here I've got some sessions I was working on, but we'll create a new session here just so I can show you some of the features. So you'll see here that there are some templates that you can use. You can also import slides. I've never done that before. I usually just start from scratch because it's so easy. So usually you want to start with some heading. We might say something like academic half day. And then subheadings, like I might put my name, I'm going to put the date or the location. So you can see that there's some text options. There's also some image options. You can put your own image. You can also go to the image library, put in something like hospital, have a picture here. We'll have some options. We can put as a background, we can put a side, we can put the top like that, or you can leave it without. You also have the option on all slides to adjust the alignment, adjust the text size. There's also the option to have some themes. So if you don't like the white and black, you can do black and white. You can do bold and gold. There's some like this greenhouse one. You can see the back is actually moving a little bit if that's your style. So a lot of different things you can do. Now in terms of the types of slides, we have content slides, which are more text or image related. We have interactive question slides, which we'll go through after those. And then there are some options for quiz if you want to give people points, etc. I tend not to do that just because it doesn't really foster a good learning environment when you're competing with your classmates. But it is an option depending on the type of session that you want to do. So I really like this bullet slide. You can see here that you can have some text up there and then bullet 1, 2, 3. You can add more bullets if you like. You can add a picture. You can adjust the alignment. And I find that this really helps make your slides not too text heavy. I prefer to give a handout or some kind of QR code with more information than to have it on the slides and force people to read as we go. You also have this paragraph style option where you can have some kind of a heading and then text afterwards if you prefer to have a bit more text on your slide. There's also an actual text slide where you can customize a bit more, with bullets, with numbers, bold, italics, etc. Kind of whatever you want to get your message across. There's also an option for a slide with just an image or just a video if you prefer. And then there's this quote slide I really like just because of the layout. I think this is a quote that's pretty applicable to medicine. And you can see that that's just a nice way to summarize a key point that you want to get across. Now in terms of the question slides, there's some different ones. Multiple choice is always good to use. So you put your question up here. And then you can have, 3 options, 4 options, being a GI medical oncologist. Put some things there. You can have your answers as a donut, a pie chart, some dots, which I find is a little hard to interpret. You can also have the option to have a correct answer. For example, maybe colon is the correct answer. And then I'll show you when we present this that you can turn the correct answer on and off so the students don't see it right away. Another one that's good too, especially in the beginning of a lecture, is word cloud. This will be one-word answers that your participants will text in, and you can ask your question and create a word cloud around the topic of your interest. Open-ended I find is pretty good, especially for more senior learners, because you can ask for things like a diagnostic plan or a management plan, and the trainees will type in either on their phone or their laptop, and that reminds me, I neglected to show you one of the more important slides, which is the instructions, so the joining slide. And I'll usually put that right after the heading. You can see that there's a website or a QR code, depending what device they're using. And you'll see as well that this stays at the top of the slide there. So if a trainee or participant becomes disconnected, they can join back in afterwards. One of the other ones I like to use is the scales one. So you put your question here, like, how much do you agree? Or you could also change this to say, how strongly do you think this is needed? Or strongly appropriate, strongly not appropriate. There's a lot of literature that these kind of questions are good for trainees to think through. And then you might see, so I could use this, for example, how much do you need this test? And then I'll put 3 or 4 or 5 different tests, and strongly needed, strongly inappropriate. What about these management plans? Strongly appropriate, strongly not appropriate. And you'll end up getting a nice summary of what all of your participants have to say. So I'll just show you quickly. If I present this here, you can kind of see a nice clean animation here. You can see here is the slide for the joining instructions, bullets, heading. You can see it's a nice size text. You can make that bigger again if you need. That's our quote slide. You can see here the multiple choice slide, right? So it would pop up like this. And you see down here, push enter to show the correct answer. Then once everyone has voted, you can push enter to show the correct answer, enter again to hide it. This would be our word cloud slide. Obviously, there's nothing up there. Our open-ended slide. And then you can see our scale slide. This will pop up differently on the phone or the device, allowing the participants to strongly agree or disagree. So that in a nutshell is Mentimeter. I hope this is a helpful tour, and would recommend that you explore this a little bit in anticipation of your next talk.